welcome to the lounge. Please do come in. We truly hope you enjoy your stay.
Today we're flying Air France business class. Not a bad way to get from Paris to New York. But first we're checking out Air France's flagship lounge in Terminal 2E, Hall L. Let's see if it's worth the visit. Now let's take a look at the Air France Lounge, Terminal 2E, Hall L, by the numbers. The lounge has some pretty generous hours, but access comes with a few specific requirements. And remember, no priority pass. Inside the lounge you'll find all the usual perks, plus a few extras. We'll dive deeper into these throughout the video. If you love to travel and want honest reviews and insights from real experiences, please subscribe, like, and share. We really do appreciate the support. Now let's talk about getting to the lounge. Charles de Gaulle isn't exactly the easiest airport to navigate, especially Terminal 2. But with the right signage, it's not too bad. Today, our focus is on Hall L, as that's where our departure gate is, and our lounge. And of course, we didn't have a gate, so we were fortunate enough to be supplied with a shuttle bus from the plane to the terminal. Then it was on to the free CDG Val shuttle train. As we were dropped off in Terminal M, it was one stop to Terminal L. From there, it was up the escalator through security. And don't worry if you get lost. There's these handy maps throughout the terminal, helping you find where you need to go. And for us, that was the lounge, which was pretty easy to find. All we had to do was look for a sign. Then it was off to the elevator banks for the lounge. Conveniently located next to it are your SkyTeam partners. Then it was up the elevator to the lounge level. And once the doors open, we were greeted by the big Air France logo, along with some lounge information and restrictions, like no Amex or Delta Sky Club cards accepted, and of course no priority pass. And in case you didn't catch the first signage, they're nice enough to remind you again. Now I think it's time we step inside and explore this stylish Air France lounge. The main lounge area itself is spacious, modern, and well lit, with plenty of seating options for work or relaxation. There's a mix of comfortable chairs and more structured seating, giving you options depending on whether you want to read, work, or just unwind. Large windows let in natural light and offer a view of the tarmac, well, kind of. Not the most scenic Paris view, but I still appreciate a window in a lounge. The space is full of stylish touches, from colorful chairs to a circular couch, and even this table that looks like it was designed by an Italian designer. Everything feels modern, clean, and intentional. And not exactly in the center of the lounge, the centerpiece has to be this beautiful bar with this iconic gold mirrored ceiling. And now, as we wander down one of the quieter side halls, there's some extra seating tucked away for a bit more privacy, and this circular table with a few more drinks nearby. Then we come across La Petite Salon. It's cordoned off with a polite note, exceptionally reserved. Basic translation, for now, this area is off limits. Then we came across this, the lounge's unique light feature. Now it doesn't really make that sound, but that's the sound I kind of imagined it would. Now let's take a look at the food and drink in the lounge. This part we were kind of looking forward to. At the far end of the lounge, you'll find the main dining area, actually divided into a few smaller sections. I kind of like that setup, which meant people weren't right on top of each other. They had some space, which is always nice. Coupled with the fact that the lounge was pretty empty that day, gave it a nice, relaxed vibe. They even had a few signature dishes, which was a nice touch. Now, don't get me wrong. You can tell they definitely put some thought into the food here, and what was there tasted good. But for a business class lounge, I guess maybe we were expecting a little more variety. Still, I'd have to say the options that were there were solid. Definitely enough to make a meal out of it. I mean, we did, and we enjoyed it. So let's give credit where credit is due. Everything looked fresh and well kept during our visit, but honestly, for me, the bread was the real standout. The French know what they're doing when it comes to bread, and I definitely had my share. As for the drinks, the liquor selection was respectable. Nothing over the top, but then again, you are in France, so you know the champagne and wine selection is going to be solid. So we had no complaints there. And if you're skipping alcohol today, for whatever reason, they've got you covered. There's fresh water, coffee, and tea stations, as well as a few of these beverage fridges scattered throughout the lounge, with a friendly reminder that drinks are for on-site consumption only. And inside these fridges, you'll find a mix of juices, sodas, sparkling water, even a few beers to choose from. And besides these beverage choices, we also had a variety of fresh juices to choose from as well, which is always nice. And in addition to the main dining area, there are a few smaller spots scattered throughout the lounge, mostly beverages and a few light snacks, like this one in the center section. Perfect if you just wanted to grab a drink or something small without heading back to the main buffet. Of course, no visit to the Air France lounge would be complete without checking out the desserts. They looked delicious and were nicely presented, very on brand for France. The tastes were good, though again, the selection was a little limited. Still no complaints. It's not like we really needed to fill up on desserts before our flight, or did we? So we grabbed a sample of everything, found a spot to sit back, relax, and enjoy our meal. Now it's about that time in our review where we check out the lounge bathrooms. These bathrooms were modern and sleek, and I've always liked this design where they tuck away the air, water, and soap behind the mirror. Nice job, Air France. And the entire space had that signature Air France blue, and like I've mentioned before, all I really need in a lounge bathroom is that it's clean, well-stocked, and fully functioning, and this one covered all those bases, though I'll admit, for a business class lounge, a few extra touches would have been nice. But it is great that they did have a fully accessible restroom as well. Now let's look at staying connected. We're going to talk about your power, USB, and Wi-Fi. And the great thing is, wherever you decide to sit in this lounge, there seems to be a plug within reach. So searching for an outlet is one less headache. And of course, we ran a few Wi-Fi speed tests, and both the upload and download speeds were excellent. Fast enough for streaming, work, or even a little game time. Nice job, Air France Lounge. Now let's talk about the extras. Those little things that set one lounge apart from another. Around the lounge, you'll spot signs pointing to all sorts of amenities, like saunas, showers, a nursery, even a detox bar. Up front, there's concierge and guest services to help you out with any issues. You have a detox bar, which is a nice touch. And then they go old school with a magazine rack. I kinda like that. Then we come upon the nap room. Perfect if you need a little rest in between flights. The nursery is a thoughtful addition, especially for families traveling with little ones. And now, the shower suites. If you've never showered in an airport lounge, do yourself a favor and take advantage of this little luxury. These looked really good. Not the best we've seen, but definitely worth it before a long-haul flight. These suites were a nice size, clean, and full of all the amenities you would need. And now for the Clarins Spa. Treatments for men and women. And what Lily was most looking forward to, well, at least the free facial. First thing, when you get into the lounge, head straight to the spa terminal to book, because these appointments fill up fast, really fast. On our first attempt, no availability. But we were persistent and eventually managed to get an appointment. Now let's talk about the facial itself. It was short, about 15 minutes or so, but relaxing and completely complimentary. And I'd say not a bad way to refresh before a long-haul flight. Now we're going to take a quick look at the service and atmosphere here at the Air France Lounge. The lounge itself feels modern, clean, and stylish. The service was courteous and respectful, though not exactly warm and personal. Part of that service included carts making the rounds with drinks and small bites. The champagne we got, excellent. The snack, well, not really our thing. One last toast and it was time to head out. We made our way through the exit doors, past this interesting bubble light wall feature, pretty cool, and on into the elevator, where we ended up getting stuck for a minute or two. But when traveling, we seem to get used to these unexpected delays. Next stop, New York. We boarded the Air France 777-300 in business class, and if you want a full review, it's already out. But for now, we're just going to give you a little taste of our flight. Now for some final thoughts on the Air France lounge in Paris, Terminal 2E, Hall L. Overall, it's a solid lounge, modern, clean, and with plenty of space to relax. The food spread was decent, though not quite what you might expect from a top-tier business class lounge, but the signature dishes, the assortment of breads, and the champagnes were all highlights. And with the variety of seating, spa options, and unique design features sprinkled throughout this lounge, it absolutely made for a comfortable place to spend some time between flights. And we definitely look forward to stopping by this lounge the next time we're in Paris. I hope this helps you on your next journey through Charles de Gaulle. Safe travels. If you love to travel and want the latest tips, reviews, and updates, be sure to subscribe and don't forget to like and share. We really appreciate your support.